Hey, it's your girl Janae, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Professionally Childish. I have Mr. Berto, aka DJ Cashflow. You know,
Okay.
y'all call him Cashflow, we call him Berto.
Yeah, government names. We passing them out.
Look, I won't put your real government name out
That's
there. I'm
okay.
gonna tell
That's
you
okay.
business. I closing out this year and closing out this first season of mine. I really wanted to connect back with the home team.
Right.
And when I say home team, I mean like my roots. And you're definitely one of those people. Like when I think back on life and think back like childhood,
Yeah.
I think about, being in high school and then watching you grow and develop into the DJ and the entrepreneur that you are today, and the impact that you've made in our community. And so I wanted to, highlight that, and also, talk with you to maybe inspire some other people.
Okay.
And so, look, if you have a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I appreciate you reaching out. Most definitely. We do have history. We go way back like that.
Way back.
Don't forget, I did your wedding. Can I say that on
Yeah,
here?
you can say that on there.
I DJ'd your wedding.
Yeah.
Some years back. So, yeah, man, most definitely. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Look, thank you again. Look, as we talk about that wedding, so if y'all happen to see him again, just close your eyes and pretend like it's the first time, because I'm loyal, so we're gonna spin it back again if I ever take that step. But like we know our history, but give the people a little bit of your beginning.
My beginnings, I'm not originally from Columbus, but my dad was military. This is a military town. So we got here by 96. This was when Fort Benning was wide open. You ain't had to go through no checkpoint or anything like that. You could just ride on and off posts. And of course, 9/11 changed all that. But small families. I have an older sister, a younger brother. We, like I said, we moved here back in 96. I never been to the South. This was my first time coming to the South, so everything was a little different, a lot different, I would say, coming from, just moving around. We lived upstate New York, Hawaii, Texas. I was stationed in a lot of different places. But Columbus is the furthest south I've been. And, man, just getting here and learning a lot about Columbus, the different things. I remember the first time seeing a deer in my backyard. We lived on Fort Benning, and, there's like a little trail in Fort Benning. And I was like, yo, that's a deer. Like, it was a real just deer, loose deer just wandering around. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. But, went to Spencer High School, Green Wave. Shouts out to my alumni over there at Spencer. I was in the band, played in the band at Spencer.
Look, I bet people didn't know that, did they?
Yeah, probably didn't. So that was one of my extracurricular activities when I was there. I was in band for 3 years. Graduated, went to Columbus Technical College right here in Columbus. It took forever to finish, but I finished. That's all that matters. Had some other odd jobs. Worked at McDonald's over there in Manchester. I was like, no, my very first job was a commissary. I take it back. Yeah, I was a bagger at the commissary.
Yeah, you were back. That was like in high school,
yeah,
though.
Man, back in high school, I was a bagger at commissary. And anybody that ever worked at the commissary was a lady. She was an Asian lady. Her badge number was 289, and she always told you don't touch 289. My number was 389, so I told her don't touch 389. So, but yeah, then I had a job at McDonald's, and just trying to figure out life, between work and school, trying to figure out what I want to do. All my friends went into the military, Air Force and stuff like that, Army. So I was just trying to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, and I was always attached to music, just from, growing up, we grew up in that hip hop era, mid 90s, late 90s, hip hop was just at an all time high. One of my favorite artists, Jay-Z. I remember that was the first concert I ever went to, was a Jay-Z concert back in 98, 99. So, man, just trying to figure this thing out, life. And, but I was always around music. And I had the opportunity to meet a friend he said he was going to start DJing, and he was DJing, and I was everywhere with him, and I learned a lot about DJing to the point where I started DJing, and this was like early 2000s, so.
But yeah, because Look, can I drop where you were working?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I remember like I had came back from Savannah. I think you were at Aflac.
Yeah.
Were you at Aflac then? Yeah, you were at Aflac.
Yeah.
And then that's when the whole DJ Slim Cash Flow came out. And I was like, who is this? Look,
Yeah, man.
I saw a new page on Facebook and I was like, DJ Slim Cash Flow. I was like, Look, so that kind of actually brings us into my next question because, you know, like I said, we knew you as Berto, and then this Slim Cash Flow came out, and I was like, where did he get this name from?
So yeah, everybody was calling me Slim. One of the OGs just called me Slim. You know, grown folk don't call you your real name; they just make up names for you. So this old OG guy just called me Slim, and it's kind of stuck. So everybody around was calling me Slim because I'm a slimmer guy. And cash flow is just something I added to it because I was always working, trying to keep money flowing at all times. So I didn't think it was gonna be a DJ name, but I remember my dog Incognito asked me like, "What's your you gonna start DJing? What's your DJ name gonna be?" I said, I'm gonna go with Slim Cash Flow. But I thought at the time it sounded good, but when I got the opportunity to be in radio and I first heard it on the commercial, I was like, nah, it's too long. That's too much. So I dropped the Slim and just left it as DJ Cash Flow. So
cool. I was trying to figure out when the Slim dropped.
Yeah, it was when you hear, because I remember I was DJing this club downtown and I first, they promoted me on radio, and the dude that did the commercial, he said my name, and I was like, "Damn, that's so long."
It's long.
When he said it, I was like, "Nah," I just wasn't feeling it. So I was like, I'm just gonna drop that and just keep it as DJ Cash Flow. It sounded better to me.
So, throughout your time DJing and then working at the radio station and promoting and all of that, you've had the opportunity to interview and open up for some real heavy hitters. I could drop your resume and look you right up there. Has it ever been a time to where you were in total fan mode and speechless?
I wouldn't say fan mode because I look at artists as, they're regular people like us. They just have a bigger fan base, and they have a fan base and they have a following, and I never really was fan mode. I've met some pretty interesting, dope people over the years, but I can't say there's nobody that has really ever got me into a fan mode. I did have a really dope conversation with 50 Cent, which was that was some years back, and it was dope because I got an opportunity to go to his office, and when I went to his office, his personal assistant, one of the dudes that still works for him to this day, was like, "Well, he's not here." This is when he was doing the first season of Power.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is a while back. When Power, the first season of Power ended, and it was a success, so they started filming the next season, and the guy was like, "Yo, he's not here. He's probably filming." So they were showing me around the unit offices, and I was like, "Dang, this is dope." And when we came from another corner, he was standing right there. And he was like, "Oh, this is 50 Cent." And 50 came up to me and was like, "Man, don't believe none of that ish they say about me." But he was just really welcoming, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't he wasn't acting like, "Oh, I'm 50 Cent." He was just like, I just told him I DJ, and he was like, "Come in my office. I want to play some music for you." Cool. And yeah, he was just like, in the middle of the day, just come to the office. And then, my brother was with me, and we was asking him questions, and every question he was answering. It was like just having a regular conversation with a regular person. But in my mind, I'm like, this is 50 Cent. I'm in 50 Cent office. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. I think that's dope, though, because, when you meet somebody, in that caliber, and they're still regular. Yeah. Because, sometimes you, even, with people local, once they get a name, it's kind of like, I'm bigger than you. I can't talk to you. So that's real cool.
He didn't give me none of those vibes. And so, ever since then, I walk around. I don't be in fan mode. I treat them like, regular people. I just try to have regular conversations.
And it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nosy, so I always stay digging. But I actually remember this interview that you did back in 2013. This is back when Young Dolph, when he was just taking off and getting out there. You interviewed for him. Mm-hmm. You interviewed him, and then you opened up for him.
Yeah, that was some years later.
Yeah, when you opened up for him. So
Dolph, I remember meeting Dolph. He was doing I heard about Dolph because he had did a feature with Gucci, And so, and this is when Dolph, I guess he was trying to level up and get to the next level. So he was moving around. He had came to Columbus one time and did a meet and greet. And like I said, at the time, he had did that feature with Gucci. So I was like, okay, I remember this dude. And then he came that one time, and then he came another time. This time, he was a little more bossed up. You know, he had a hit record and everything. I think Preach was a hit record.
Yeah.
So I met Dolph in different occasions. I met him that first time, and then another time when he had a listening event in Atlanta. That's when he dropped the mixtape that had the song Preach. And then after that, when Preach started blowing up, he came back to the radio station, you know, and I see the glow up on him. And, you know, he was always the same, you know, same demeanor, real cool dude, you know, but really about his business.
Yeah.
And so it's unfortunate that he's not here with us today, but I look at him as one of the artists who opened the door for that Memphis, the new Memphis artists.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, like, his impact, but I agree with that. I feel like he opened up that door and really paved the way, because, you know, like, when you think about old Memphis and you think about, like, our generation and, like, 666 and then everybody.
Yeah, 8-Ball MJG.
And 8-Ball. Yeah, look, definitely 8-Ball MJG.
Yeah,
represent the 90s.
For sure.
You know, you think about that, and then you think about Dolph and the way, like, even his cadence and the changing of everything and how he approached rap. He definitely made a huge impact on our generation.
Yeah.
And you know, when you think about that and you think about, like, the way he lost his life, it's like one of those things. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, wow, like time kind of stood still.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, man, when you see stuff like that, you know, because I'm a black man myself, you know, so when you see somebody who you can relate to or comes from maybe not necessarily a situation, but you have friends in that situation, so it's kind of like you can understand where he comes from, and to see his life go away like that, I think in like 36 or something like that, you know, or 38, however old he was. It's just like, it's very sad and it's unfortunate, because it's like, man, you know, you want to be able to get to an age where you can see your kids grow, see your kids graduate,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know, be that, you know, that father figure, and also be a man who can, you know, help the next generation, you know what I'm saying, come up, you know, the mistakes you make, because we all out here living this thing called life.
Definitely. You know, I think back, like, on Nipsey and Dolph and P&B, and then, like, even, you know, more recent, like with Takeoff, and just I guess, like, the message centered around it. You know, I talked with Calvin a few weeks ago, and he was talking about, you know, like, how people have brought up, like, gun violence and being in the wrong place at the wrong time, that kind of thing. And a lot of it has been centered around, like, the message behind hip hop and hip hop culture. And, you know, basically saying, like, maybe we need to shift the narrative behind it, you know, the violence and the drugs and the women and that kind of thing. What do you feel on that?
Yeah, I can agree. The music plays a major role. I think it's multiple things. I think with the younger generation, you know, it's the music, it's the games that they're playing. Like, if you playing Call of Duty or GTA, Fortnite all day, those games are what? Just shooting, killing.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that all day, and I go listen to an artist, you know, who's talking about that, and then I go watch videos with Dracos, and it's like you're surrounding your mind with that all the time. And so I just think, you know, there's reality, it's perception and reality, and you have to be able to separate those, you know what I mean? Because, you know, these things, you know, when something like that happens, it affects so many different people.
Yeah.
You know, the people that did the shooting, they're going to jail. The person who got shot, he dies. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a family who's mourning on both ends. They're mourning, the family of the shooters are hurt, you know, because that's their child doing that. And, of course, the family of the person who died, you know. So it's a trickle effect.
It definitely is.
It hurts
definitely
everybody.
is.
And so I think that, you know, these guys need to understand, you know, when you do something like when you take somebody's life, that's just life changing, not just for that person, but everything that goes around that person.
Yeah, and I think too, like with the whole thing, like with Takeoff and social media, and how like it was plastered everywhere,
Yeah.
and it, you and I, we were just talking about social media and the effects of like, how social media kind of takes you out from the real world,
Yeah.
and thinking about that, it was just surreal, like to wake up and there it is. You see somebody, and instead of people helping, they're taking videos
Right.
of a tragic event, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's just kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Even, think back, even like with Nipsey, you see the videos and you hear the screams and things like that. And it's like social media has kind of taken over the real world.
Yeah, I think it's taking the emotion out of thing. People become numb to these type of things, but it's like, you don't want that. Imagine that happened to somebody you love. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to get that phone call or to see their loved one. You know what I'm saying? In that state, like it's already hard enough out here, and just like I said, I think social media is just taking the emotion out of stuff. You know what I'm saying? People have just become numb to like any type of violence or something like that that's happening online. So
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, let's offer thoughts and prayers and then on to the next thing. Yeah.
So I really pray that this younger generation think before they do things. You know what I'm saying? Use your mind, use your brain. God gave you that brain to use it. Think before you react. I think a lot of times it's just like people just react and don't take the time to think about it. Think about the consequences. Think about how this can affect you. You know what I'm saying? Really just stop and think before you do stuff.
I can definitely agree with that one. I think too, because like when you talk about like hometown and everything, and I know like with Dolph, they were saying, don't go back to your hometown, move, run away, and stay away. And so when you hear even rappers and like moguls in the game, they're always like, move away, create a new life, and don't go back kind of thing. But, when I think about you, I was picking on you about it, and I was like, what made you stay here? After a certain level of success, most people kind of get out.
Yeah, well, I don't move like that. I'm not.
Well, yeah, look,
I'm
nah.
not. Oh yeah, I ain't no. I ain't surrounded by. I don't have a lot of jewelry on my neck. Because I think those are the things that entice that type of energy. When you. Rappers been talking about that for years, shaking chains and stuff like that. So when you become in that realm, that's the type of things you would attract. I'm not a rapper, I'm a DJ. So thank God. But my business is here, and my business, thank God, is doing very well for itself. I try my best to brand myself, be professional at all times. I think that's one of the reasons why, because, aside from marketing, word of mouth is still one of the strongest promotions. And I think, I pride myself on my work. And, when whether it's showing up on time or communicating or just, making sure I provide an amazing experience from start to finish, I pride myself on that. And I think that's what keeps people, reaching out to me for different things. And, like I said, you want to, it's just like any other business, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you already know what you're going to get. You want that type of service, So I try to pride my business on that. And that's one of the reasons why I've been here, I also love Columbus. Columbus is like, I wasn't born here, but a lot of values and things I learned came from here, and Columbus is a great city. It's grown over the years. It's still growing. It's a lot of things, a lot of opportunity. I know a lot of people be saying, "Oh, move to Atlanta," or go to Atlanta, or go to a different city. It's like, so you gonna move there and do the same thing you was doing here? I think it's more about creating. You got to create the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Create things that you want. Surround yourself with the right people. You know what I'm saying? You can be successful as well. Because if you just go to move just to move, and you don't have nothing move, you're just moving there just to move, you still have to create that, opportunity.
I can agree with
at
that
a
one.
higher level though, because
I
now
can agree
you
with that. It's
in a city
saturated.
that's moving faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything moves faster when you're in a bigger city, and if you don't know nobody, you know what I mean? It's kind of like people will be looking at you like, who is you? The city can be ruthless as well. So I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but I just say, move with strategy. Make sure you have a
Definitely
plan.
that. Definitely
Write your
that.
plan out and stick to the plan.
Definitely that one. Look, you're talking about the area and everything. We're talking family traditions and things like that. You have some stuff going on in your family. Y'all have a brand. You had a fashion show.
Yeah,
Not too long ago.
Drip the One Way season 3 just happened this past October. I'm so happy we were able to do it again. A lot of people came out, a lot of brands. The purpose of this fashion show is just really to highlight. See, Columbus has a lot of talent here. A lot of people, and contrary to other places, Columbus is a black city. Believe
Very
it or
much
not,
so.
it's one of those cities. I've been to places where it ain't that many of us. I've been to Nashville. Okay, so even though Nashville does have a black scene, but it's not a black city. And that's no shot to Nashville or anywhere else, but I'm just saying that, in Columbus, we have a lot of talent. A lot of people pride themselves on, where they went to school, they represent, we stand on a lot here. So basically, Drip the Runway is just to highlight those designers, local designers, who have their own lines, and let them put it on display. Like I said, creating that fashion show to help the local designers who have their lines, showcase their, work. And like we're on the 3rd season, like I said, I'm so proud of everyone who supports and participates in Drip the One Way, and I'm looking forward to next year. So if you have not been to one of the shows, you definitely have to make it to it.
Look, I know I gotta make it to a show.
Yeah, it's the first week in October every year. Drip the One Way, and I'm looking forward to doing it some more and doing it at a higher level because, fashion is a part of music, which is a part of DJing, which is a part of
it's a part of
everything
the
that I got
culture.
going. It's culture.
It's a part of the culture.
And I pride myself on trying to put together the best show that you be entertained, and also us working together. I think collaboration is the way to success.
Definitely the collaboration. And that's something that I wanted to do, just to highlight, because like you said, we have so much talent here, and instead of it being a competition,
right,
like it's enough room for everybody to, to shine. It's enough room for everybody to display their stuff. Right. We can grind together, uplift each other. And I like how you did that. Like I saw some of the videos and how you highlighted the different designers and things like that. I said that was big, and I promise I'm gonna make it out to the next one.
I appreciate that.
Make it out to the next one.
Thank you.
With the grind and everything, and you always say you're always busy, always working. I saw something and I caught something that you talk about a lot, and it's the balance between the grind and family and rest.
Yeah.
Coming into the holiday season, how do you find a balance in that resting point and having enough time to pretty much do it all?
Yeah. You just gotta make time. I think they say you make time for the things you want to make time for. So I think family comes first before anything. I think you really have to make that time to spend with your family. So I'm looking forward to the holidays because I am busy all the time, but this is the time I get to chill and spend with family. So just like anybody, I'm going to my brother's house. You know what I'm saying? We're going to spend Thanksgiving together. We're going to watch some games. We're going to play some games. We're going to really just sit down and, enjoy each other because, these days are shorter,
Definitely.
Tomorrow's not promised for anybody. And, when you think about going back to, Takeoff, 28 years old, I remember what I was doing at 28. And it's like, I'm past 28 now, but it's just like, can you imagine your life ending right there? It's like, there's so much more you so much more living, to do. So, just take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Tell people you love them. Make sure you call people, tell them you love them. Let's, be more positive. Be intentional with the things that we say. The things that come out of your mouth are so important. Speak life. Speak life when you talking to people, and always wish them well.
Definitely wish your people well, and love on them.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything like big coming up? Christmas coming up? Any plans?
Oh yeah, we are doing the 14th annual. Let me get my phone. Hold on, because I don't want to say it wrong. Shouts out to Gwinnetta Wright, Expert Tax. 98.3 The Beat. We teamed up once again for the 14th annual toy giveaway. I'm gonna be there. I want y'all to come out there. It's gonna be at the Elands Event Center, located at 3721 Maker Road, Suite 4, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I don't know when this is going to air, so
it'll be before then.
Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, December 18th. Make sure y'all come through. It's Reach for Your Dreams, 98.3 The Beat, 14th annual Christmas toy giveaway. Gwinnetta, shouts out to her. She's from Columbus, Carver High School alumni. And her and her team, they do it big every year. We've been doing it with them, the radio station. We partner with them. We give away toys. This is a free event. We give away toys to other kids in the community. We have food. We have games.
Like I'll be in the building.
Yeah, everything. So it's so important. So that's one of the big events that's coming up. So yeah, if anything, make sure y'all come to that. If you know somebody who might need some help during the holidays, because this is the time for giving. I believe it's not if you've been blessed throughout the year to buy your kids the sneakers that they want, everything. Think about somebody who hasn't been able, or whether they fell on hard times, or whether they just going through a hard time, struggling in life. Make sure you remember to give back. It's so important. So yeah, that's one of the big ones right there. December 18th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Elands Event Center, 3721 Maker Road, Suite 4.
Look, y'all come out.
Yes.
This is one event that I have volunteered for. Yeah. Look, COVID kind of took us out for a few years, and because the last time we came together, it was 2019. 2019. Yeah. But look, we will definitely both be in the building. Yeah. So you make sure you come out and you check us out. If you want to volunteer, you can look up Gwinnetta's information. Mm-hmm. She has a volunteer sheet where you can volunteer.
Yeah, and she gonna let me make sure because I'll help Gwinetta out right here.
Look, is she gonna kill us too?
Yeah. So if you want to donate, there's a Cash App. It's R4YD. That's if you got Cash App, it's the $R4YD, or you can PayPal.me Reach for Your Dreams Inc. Dreams with a Z. So PayPal.me /Reach for Your Dreams with a Z, INC. And or if you just want to help out, man, you can email Gwinetta. Her email is gwinnetawright@aol.com. We need all the help we can get. We're trying to give back to our community. So
definitely. Berta, I thank you for coming in and talking to me. Look, I'm not gonna keep up your whole afternoon.
Oh no, you good, man. It's always good seeing my fellow alumni, Greenway, the original
SHS.
That's right, man. We was Spencer was there first, so what I'm saying, no shot to anybody else, but I'm just keeping it 100.
So look, those are facts, though.
It's good to see you, and thank you for having me. And shouts out to your whole podcast, man.
Thank you.
Keep doing it, most definitely.
Thank you. And look, as always, y'all have a great week. Love on those who love on you. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Professionally Childish 1. Join the group on Facebook, like the page. If you want to be my friend, Janae Nicole. Y'all have a blessed one.